Merry Christmas, our church family. Pastor Josh here to just wish you a Merry Christmas in this kind of odd Christmas season with the weather that we've had that have kind of snowed and froze us out of many of the things that we were planning to do. I don't know about you, but kind of amounted to the last couple of days just staying at home with the family and peace and quiet, though lots of new gifts and exciting things for the girls. And boy, now, sorry, can't forget our little new one. I wanted to give you a couple of thoughts this Christmas. You know how most Christmases are just so busy with parties and shopping, and I don't know about you, I usually sometimes will have 3 or 4 family events, work parties, etc. And it just becomes a very busy season as we go from thing to thing, event and event and event. And sometimes, because of all of those things and because of the busyness that sets in during this holiday season, can often miss the point of the season, which is the fact that we have a God that chose to be with us. Matthew 1:23 says, and this is a prophecy out of Isaiah, "Behold, the virgin shall be with child and shall bear a son, and they shall call him Emmanuel," which means God with us. See, as we've talked about so often, God has always wanted to be with his people. And this was a prophecy hundreds of years old that said God was coming. God was going to be with his people. Nothing was going to stop, and he was going to be born of a virgin and show up on the scene. And on Christmas Day, it's amazing. It's so often, it's like our Christmas, where we are so full of busyness and so full of things. Bethlehem was packed at the time, overflowing with people, so much so that, as you know, you may know the story, Mary and Joseph could not find room in the inn and had to go into a manger where Jesus was born. And what's amazing is, even though this city was packed full of people, they, for whatever reason, their busyness, their involvement in their own things, they did not know that the promised child, God with them, was now in the city, that he had been born and the promise had been fulfilled. They did not come to worship him. Even though there was more people than normal, not one person from the city showed up. They were too busy doing their own thing to come and visit Jesus, to worship the promised king. It was a bunch of shepherds who were out in the field that an angel could appear to and trumpet the coming of Jesus. That was who came. Those on the outside came in, not those who were just right in the same town, right there. And they could not be bothered. They were too busy to come and visit the Holy King, the promised Son. God with them. They missed God on Christmas Day. And again, I find that such a challenge to us, how often in our busyness, and even so as a church, right? This past couple of weeks, we've had so many things go on, including doing helping out with giving gifts to 40 neighborhood kids. We are so involved with all of these things that sometimes we can miss Jesus in this most holy time. So I have to say, I hope you guys have stayed warm and stayed safe in this cold weather, but I have been somewhat thankful for this time of quiet and time of peace, so I can remember and reflect on Jesus. Not just the trappings of the season, but the true reason for the season. Anyway, that's all I have time for. Well, all I have voice for, as you can hear. And so I wish you all a very Merry Christmas from my family to yours. I hope you have a great day. I hope you recognize and wait for Emmanuel, Jesus, who is with you. God bless you. I'll see you next week.